afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining my quarantine time show. This is Katie Harper, and I wanted to introduce my very dear friend, Enid Zoe, part of Zoé Lemon Home. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
All right. So my name is Enid Zoe, like Katie said. I currently live in Los Angeles, and I'm originally from Boston. And Zoé Lemon is a home organization business. So we go into clients' homes and make it more functional, make it minimal, and organize every and anything from closets, kitchens, pantries, nurseries, bedrooms, whatever you need organization with, we would do.
Excellent. So what we learned back in 2019 is we are sparking joy. So in 2020, what are we going to spark with you, Miss?
Exactly. It's funny that you said that, because that is where I got this whole thing from, the Marie Kondo Sparking Joy. I am going to spark simplicity and organization. That's what I'm going to spark.
Excellent.
For 20.
I love this. So you said that she was a big inspiration in terms of what made you get started. Was there anything else that kind of led you in this direction that you wanted to start your own business?
Yeah, so I love a simple home. And after watching the documentary, Tidying Up, I was like, it makes sense to not hoard things that you don't use. Just get rid of it, donate it, sell it, do whatever you need, and just keep only the essentials of what you need. And it just makes living so much easier, more functional. And they say that your home is a representation of your mind. So I feel like with a clear mind, you now have a very clear home, and you can just live simply and live better, I think.
That's awesome. And I will tell you, everybody, that I've actually been to Enid's home before, and it is so cute. It's so nicely decorated and super clean. So I do have to actually tell everybody that you lead by example. So you're not coming out of some crazy pigsty going to organize people's houses. She actually leads by what she talks about. So I will say that. And she does have the cutest decorations and all of that, and she's very into the themes for holidays as well too. So there's definitely, you spark joy in that sense for sure. So, and then I wanted to ask, so how did you come up with the name Zoé Lemon?
Okay, so my middle name is Zoe, and obviously I've always loved that name. Kind of wish my mom gave me that name instead of Enid as my first name, but we won't tell Gladys that. No. So Zoe I got from that, and then Lemon, I was actually brainstorming with a friend, and we thought about when you watch HGTV or during the staging of a home and you're trying to sell it, a lot of the people will put a bowl of citrus on the island of the kitchen or on the countertops, just to kind of, that's a piece. And then I noticed, I Googled bowl of lemons, because I just like the farmhouse theme, and lemons play a role in that a lot. So I Googled, what's the meaning of a bowl of lemon? And it was the Google meaning, I think it was it represents abundance and it neutralizes negative energy. And I was like, oh my God, if I'm trying to simplify and organize someone's home, I would love to take all that negative hoarding energy out and kind of simplify it and make it better for them. So I was like, okay, Zoé Lemon Home. And it just kind of sparked. And I live in LA, and right outside of my house, there's a huge lemon tree that we actually grab our lemons from there. So that was kind of a confirmation that the name was good.
That's so awesome. So since you're based in LA, is this a service that you would be offering outside of the area? Will you fly to Boston and help me organize, even though I'm OCD for my organizing, but always need help?
Yeah, so of course. So a lot of my family and friends are still on the East Coast, and some of the projects that I've done have actually been on the East Coast in New Jersey. That was one of my first clients. One of my friends bought a new home, and she just needed help. She has 2 under 2, so very busy mom life. So I kind of was helping her with that. But I will be more than happy to fly out to a client's home. Once the business progresses, we'll figure out how that'll work with flying out and stuff. But I'm more than open to get things done on any coast. Ideally, I would love to be able to go anywhere to be able to help you with organizing your home.
That's so awesome. So, question about that. So, you did mention that you've done East Coast and particularly in New Jersey. What is there something in your profile that you've been most proud of, your work that you've done?
Okay, so one thing that I want to teach along with organizing is not just do it for you. When I organize a home, I want the client standing right there next to me to kind of learn the process and to keep it organized like once I leave. So with one of my first projects that I did, it's actually the one in Jersey. I did her pantry, and she has a 2-year-old, and we kind of went through the bins and put the snacks at like a level where the 2-year-olds can open the pantry and like grab whatever snacks. So I think that pantry in specific was one of my favorite projects because the 2-year-old, after we did like all the chips, I color coordinated them. And then she came in and grabbed like a bag of Cheetos, I think it was, and it was orange. And then there were like blue Doritos, but she didn't want the Cheetos anymore. And she went back and put it in the orange slot and then like pulled another color out. So she learned the process of like, okay, they're organized like this, like, let me keep it like that. And everything was accessible to her. So the fact that you can teach a child to keep an area tidy and functional, that was probably like my proudest moment so far.
That's so awesome. And what tips would you say that in addition to like color coordinating and getting organizational bins, like what would you recommend for people to kind of create on their own in terms of organizing and simplifying their space? Is there anything that you do in your home that you would want to share with people? Obviously, the goal is that we want you to guide them and help them personally in their homes. But for the time being, while we're all stuck at home right now, is there anything that they can kind of get a jump start on?
Yeah, for sure. So keep in mind always that less is more, right? You don't want to go into hoarding situations where you just have a ton of stuff. Having a little surplus of items like in its own bin is great. And like you mentioned, organizational bins are key. Like you can get, depending on your budget, you can get like clear bins at the Container Store, at TJ Maxx's and Marshall's. They're pretty like well priced. Or you can even go to the dollar store. Like I know Dollar Tree sometimes will have bins, just whatever works within your budget. So kind of organizing items by category. Let's just stick to like a pantry, which is one of the most common things, or like a kitchen. You could do like chips, you could do crackers, you could do, the sugars in different bins, and labels. Labels help so much. It can be like a muted label. Doesn't have to be anything too big or too crazy, but just like having everything have its designated spot is what's ideal. You know that item belongs there. You know that it looks good there, and it's just make it a pretty display that makes you feel like you're going grocery shopping when you're opening your fridge or when you're like opening your pantry. I think that's the biggest tip. And you can get started with like any baskets or bins that you have in your house, or like I said, just once outside opens up again, you can buy bins anywhere.
Hopefully soon.
I know.
This is crazy. So, and I've been back at my mom's house since this pretty much has all started bouncing between the Cape and Boston. And I have really been deep cleaning my mom's house, ripping apart every drawer, every cabinet, all this stuff. And exactly what Enid is saying right now, I keep telling my mom, like, there's no junk drawer because everything that you bring into this house needs to have a home. So no more like, yes, exactly. So I can't tell you how many things I've recycled or repurposed, thrown out in some cases as well too, to try to get rid of all of that stuff. So exactly what you are saying, like, if you have a home for it, there's always a special place it's going to go, whether it's those surplus Band-Aids in your little first aid kit, or if it's going
Make sure they still stick too, because throw them out if they don't.
Exactly. You might have to test one or two out just to make sure, but things like that too. And like I mentioned earlier, I am super OCD about everything, especially organization, from color coordinating, all of my accessories, my closets, things are by season. I mean, like I go crazy in my closet for sure. But I think that that's such a good idea as well too, to like really create that less is more. And even like, for example, of the pantry, when you're setting that up for your client as well too, there may be things that she didn't realize that she had in there and that we're going to go by the wayside and expire, or she's buying so many more groceries because she doesn't realize what's kind of tucked in the back. So, I mean, I think in that sense, it's a great investment to have you come in because you're essentially saving them money in the long run. So,
and there's so many times where like there's items that have been almost a year expired and they don't even know they have it. Spices that expired, vitamins that expired. You know, there's so many things like that the shelf life are good, but some things expire because you can't see them and you don't know you have them and you keep buying it and just keep like stocking and stocking. So it's definitely very important to go through stuff often.
that's good to know. Thank you. And then I will ask, what is your favorite room to organize? Do you have a specific area that you really are passionate about?
I think right now it's an even tie between a closet and a pantry. I have an obsession with pantries because not everyone has the same space. So I like to personally make it a challenge for me. Like, how am I going to make this space work for them and their family and their needs and stuff? So the fact that that challenge is there, like, I love a good pantry challenge. And then with closets, I love because you can do like the seasonal wear, you can do organization by color, you can do organization by item, like dresses, blazers, shirts, like slacks, whatever it is. So it's kind of all different because it depends on what the clients need and the space that they have. But those are my top two for sure.
That's so awesome. All right, good to know. So if anybody's looking for your services, they'll be like, I need a good pantry cleaning, or I have things exploding out of my closet I need assistance with. So that's so awesome. Now I'm doing one random question for each of the people I'm interviewing. Okay, so I have a question for you that I'm going to ask that doesn't necessarily pop up all the time. So if you were to get rid of one state in the United States, which one would it be and why?
Damn.
I'm putting you on the spot on this one.
I know. I don't even know. It'd have to be somewhere that I've never been because I clearly have no desire to go there. I'm gonna go with Idaho. Like, I feel like
I knew it was gonna be that section.
I was like, I've never heard of anything related to Idaho other than potatoes, and I have no desire to go there. No hate, no discrimination to people that live there or from there, but I'd have to say I think the U.S. would be fine without Idaho.
All right. And then we can like officially add Puerto Rico as the 50th state.
Girl.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I think that's
Puerto Rican. So I was like, this is an easy tie. We got to just bring them in officially, make them a state, and we'll still keep.
You know, I see what you did there, Katie. I see what you did there.
Yeah, I already thought about that when I wrote the question down, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to tell her I'm asking this question, but no, I'm like, you got to shout out my Puerto Rican friends. I'm like, yes, absolutely. So this is so awesome. So Enid, tell us a little bit about where we can find you, how to contact you. We need your services more than ever right now. So tell us your IG handle or how to get in touch with you.
So my IG is at Zoé Lemon Home, ZOELEMON home at Zoé Lemon Home, and Zoe is without the Y. And then the website is www.zoelemonhome.com. So from there, that's when you can contact me. You can send questions. Pricing would be there. I'm also going to try to do virtual classes, like to kind of, if you can't afford, having an organizer come in your home, just kind of tips and tricks on how to DIY it. So if you're up for the challenge, you can do it yourself.
That's so awesome. So thank you so much for taking the time to give us tips. Tell us a little bit about your new passion. We're super excited to see your page and how it grows, and everybody that is now going to be living a more simplistic life because of you. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, absolutely. Well, stay safe, stay sane, and we hope to see you soon.
You too. Bye,
right,
girl.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.